Hello Play Zoo friends, my name is Jenny. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Hamill Family Play Zoo video series, bringing the Play Zoo to you. Today, we will use natural materials to make our own sensory bottles and practice focusing on our senses. Let's go. Lately, we have been using our senses to explore outside and look for signs of spring. We have heard the sounds of spring birds, smelled the rain in the air, and seen the puddles on the ground. Today, we will focus on our senses. We can use natural materials to create sensory bottles that are fun to play with and which help us to focus on our senses and on how they make us feel. First, let's take a walk to collect some natural materials for our sensory bottles. Now, to make a sensory bottle, we need a clear container with a lid. We can ask our families to help us save clear bottles or jars and to clean them out when they are empty. Then we can reuse these containers to create sensory bottles. We can fill our containers with different kinds of natural materials to create sensory bottles that look, feel, and sound different. I wonder, what will a sensory bottle filled with sticks sound like? Will it be light or heavy? Will a sensory bottle filled with pebbles feel different? Will it sound different? Let's experiment. Wow, there are lots of different sensory bottles we can make with things we find outside in nature. We can also use natural materials that we find at home. Cornmeal is a natural material that we use for cooking and baking. Let's try adding cornmeal to one of our bottles. We can use a funnel to help. Water is another natural material that we have at home. We can add water to a bottle or two, and then try adding different things to our water sensory bottles. I wonder, what will happen if I add vegetable oil to my water sensory bottle? Let's make sure our bottles are closed up tight. We might even want to glue the lids in place. Now, let's focus on our senses. We can practice using our sense of sight to look closely and observe the different colors and shapes we see. And we can notice how the materials inside of our sensory bottles move differently when we tilt and shake them. Some shake, some fall, some slide, and some bubble. We can practice using our sense of hearing to listen closely and to notice the sounds our sensory bottles make. Let's try closing our eyes so we can really focus on what we hear. Some are loud and rattly. Even the noisy ones make different sounds. Some make soft, swishy sounds. Others make bubbly sounds, watery sounds. This sounds like the waves on the beach. We can practice using our sense of touch to feel how heavy or light our sensory bottles are. Some are very light. I can feel the sticks and the pebbles banging against the bottles. Some bottles are heavier. I wonder which one is heaviest. Each of our sensory bottles is so different. I noticed that I like some sensory bottles more than others. Sometimes the things that we notice with our senses make us feel nervous or scared. Other times, they make us feel calm and relaxed. I noticed that when I tilt my water sensory bottle back and forth, I like the way the bubbles look. Looking at the bubbles makes me feel calm. The sound of the water makes me feel relaxed. And I like the heavy feeling of the bottle too. How do your sensory bottles make you feel? That was fun. Our sensory bottles can help us to focus on our senses, can inspire us to experiment, and can even make us feel relaxed. I wonder, can we make a sensory bottle to help us focus on our senses of smell and taste. If you'd like to send us photos of your sensory bottle experiments, send them to the address on your screen. Happy experimenting! See you next time!